Hey, what's up? So let's now dispatch these three actions in the context of an HTTP request using redux-thunks. So to use them, you need to install this package first. So npm install redux-thunk. I already did this. As you can see, I already installed it. So I'll put a link in the description for it. But to start using this, we need to understand what is a thunk. So a thunk is a function that wraps an expression to delay its evaluation. So as you can see, when JavaScript engine reaches this point, it will calculate that x is equal to 3, but at this point here, this calculation will be delayed unless you call this function. When this function is being called, the calculation will happen. So this is what a thunk is, like the most basic definition of it. So to start using thunks, I will create a thunk, then I will integrate the redux-thunk with our store. So let's go to our actions inside our posts in Redux, and let's create our first thunk. So export const fetch posts. So this is our action, or our asynchronous action creators. These are our action creators. These normal action creators returns object. Asynchronous action creators returns functions. So let me return another function, and this function will be executed or invoked from Redux, and this function we will invoke it. So for example, let me go to my app.js. We will import this function at the top here and go to mapDispatchToProps. Then we will define anything, maybe we call it fetch posts. This will be a function that uses the dispatch function, and we invoke our function that we created here. So this will return this function that we define here, and this function, the internal function, will be executed by Redux, and they will pass the same dispatch function here. They will pass it there. So this will be here, and like this we can actually dispatch these three actions. So first action will happen when we call the fetch posts is the fetch post started. So let's call that. So dispatch this, then it should return a value, and this could be anything. In this context, this will be a promise, since I will be using the fetch API to fetch these 5 posts. I'll put a link in the description for this. Then after that, I will convert them to JSON, or parse them as JSON. Then I will have an array of posts. What I will do, I will map these posts. So for example, like this, post.map, this is an array, and for each post I will create a new posts. This will be from, I mean, that could work, but yeah, from model. I'll use this class to create an instance of a post. You don't need to do this, but I'll just do it. But to pass these properties to this, I will convert this to a single object, like this maybe, and I will destruct these, like this, which is nice. And what I can do, I just pass the post object like this to this post constructor function or class, and we will have an object, an array of posts instances. Then each then function returns a promise of the returned value. So this will be here. So posts, what I will do, I will dispatch the fetch post success and pass to it the posts, and in case of any error, I will catch it with the, or we don't need it, but I will catch it by dispatching a fetch post failure. Fetch post failure action, and that's it. I mean, looks clean in my opinion. We can make it simpler by removing this and the body, and remove this. Yeah, looks much simpler. And this needs to be imported in our app.js, so let's export it from here. So go to our actions, import this and export it here. I just formatted the code really quick and go down to our Redux, the index.js there, and import this function or this asynchronous action creator here, and let's go to our app.js and it's imported from the Redux folder, and let's create here a function or use the mapDispatchToProps to create a key called getPosts. This will be a function that dispatches this fetch posts, and let's destruct this from the props and let's just call it like this before rendering a component. This might be called multiple times, but it's okay. Okay, but to make this work, this won't work at the moment. We need to integrate the redux-thunk library. To do this, you should read this documentation, but I will just do it in front of you. So go to our to the same place we called the create store, and there we need actually, let me just check out the code. Yeah, we need to import a couple of things. So first one is import thunk from React or redux-thunk, and from the Redux itself import compose function and apply middleware. And let me show you another way we can integrate the dev tools with thunks in the store, in Redux store. So we will use the compose function and we will compose two things. First one is the result of apply middleware of the thunk. So thunk, sorry, and each middleware you have, you will put them here. You will put them here. Middlewares are a concept in another video, but for now this is how you integrate thunks. And to allow the dev tools to still work again, we can't call this function. We'll do it in a different way. So the Redux dev tool we installed in the browser, this one, sorry, this one will inject something inside the window global object. We can get it. So window dot redux dev tools. I think I can just get it from here. I mean, it's now broken, but no. Anyway, for now it's called Redux dev tool extension. You see this property from the window object. So if you need to check if it exists, just call it. Yeah, it might look weird, but this is the way. So this actually should work now. Now, before rendering this component, we actually dispatched that action or that asynchronous action. So let's go to our Redux and check out the actions that have been dispatched. So just wait a moment, everything is okay. So let's go to Redux. We see that we have fetch post started twice. I mean, this is actually obvious since we are calling this at the start or before rendering this component, and this is a function that might be called multiple times using React. So anyway, we started that request 2 times. One time it got failed, and as you can see, this is now the state. Let's see it in raw mode. Is loading is false and is error is true. Nice. So when it's got started, is loading is true and is error is false. And on success, we have the 5 posts. And I believe it got we got this error because if we go to network, I can believe, yeah, this is maybe my internet connection got lost in this request. But I think if I do this, this might be called multiple times. Yeah. So it's really bad to put HTTP request in these kind of places. You should put them maybe in the use state or use class component class-based component and use component mount. But yeah, this is basically it. In the next video, we will render these posts that we got and display a spinner and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I hope this was useful. If it was useful, please subscribe. But at the end, you can go and check this file. This is the most important file. You can see it. There is a link in the description for the repo. This is how you can create asynchronous action creators and dispatch your normal action creators from here. This is really nice, and yeah, thank you for watching.